Am I on it? Yep, I'm on. That's for sure. Welcome, everybody, to our May 20th meeting here at the Graham County Services Building. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Supervisor David will lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome, everybody, and those, do we have any online? If not, if we do, welcome. First off, we need to approve the minutes of our regular meeting for May 6th.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go ahead and approve those minutes of our May 6th work session.
I'll second that.
Make that unanimous. And next, we need to pay our bills. Need a motion to approve the demands and handwritten warrants.
I'll make a motion to approve the demands and handwritten warrants.
Yes, I'll second.
Make it unanimous. And first up, we have our Sheriff, PJ Allred, on an item here.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
How are we today?
Good.
Good. So, yeah, we have one request. It's ask a ratification of the purchase of a, who wants to say that name of that machine? Konica Minolta, whatever, some kind of printing machine, copy machine. What it is to replace the old copy machine that's in the booking area. We've been told that our old machine in the booking area, that when it goes down, that there are no more parts to ever fix it. And so that's kind of important to have in the booking area for us. And what it's going to cost us is, it's going to cost us about $4,000, just over $4,000. And we want to pay with that through our jail enhancement funds, is how we'd like to do that. So that's what we're asking today.
I think they design these machines where you can't get parts for them, make you buy another, it seems like, every time. But yeah, today must be the day of the printer. Do you have any questions or discussion on this?
No, and Office of the Courts is paying for this, is that correct? Arizona Office of Courts?
Jail enhancement. Jail enhancement funds.
Okay. But the next one, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's that's a good utilization, and it does increases efficiency. I'll go ahead and did you have any comments, Vice Chair? Okay. I'll go ahead and move that we do approve the unbudgeted capital for this BizHub 300i copier.
I'll second that.
And I would note, though, before we vote, that the Interstate Copy Company, we're getting, based on the bids or the estimates, we're getting phenomenal prices for these, and we're able to purchase locally.
That's great. That's great. I'll make that unanimous.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Next, we have up Herman Andrews.
Good morning, everybody. So basically, starting off, we're going to do the same thing with the printer, the Konica Minolta. In our adult intake area, our printer is just dying. And same sort of thing, we can't have parts for it, or they don't have any parts for it. And this will be coming out of state fund.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, which is the Standard Juvenile Probation Fund, so basically AOC agreed to pay for it.
That's great. Questions, discussion?
My father always said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, so we approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the Konica Minolta printer copier.
I'll second that.
Make that unanimous.
Thank you. And our other item is a grant match for family counseling. Per code, we're supposed to pay a portion of that family counseling. So it'll come out of our funds, like a probation service fees and stuff of that nature.
Questions, comments, discussion?
I'll go ahead and move. It is a small amount, dollar amount. We're talking, what, $1,700 or so?
Yes.
And it's a small match, and it's essential, and we're grateful that someone's carrying the burden of that, and we're just paying the match. So I'd go ahead and move that we approve the family counseling grant matches for fiscal years 24 and 25.
I'll second that.
I'll make it unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Next, we have Michael Bryce.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dustin. Next item, asking for approval, acceptance of the right-of-way from William and Lacey Ebert, which is on Watson Lane, which we've accomplished part of that chip seal project.
Michael, I just want to commend you for the work you do trying to get us these right-of-ways. It's not always very easy to obtain them, and you guys work pretty diligently getting them, so I just want to pass that on and appreciate what you do for us.
Thank
Any
you.
other comments, discussion?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for the approval of the right-of-way on Watson Lane from William and Lacey Ebert.
I'll second the Vice Chairman's motion.
Gladly make that unanimous. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Just a note of interest on that, Mr. Ebert called us up and says, when are you gonna chip seal our road? And he saw all the gravel out there and he thought we just put gravel on the road and hadn't chip sealed it yet. But we explained to him how that worked.
We've had a lot of happy people over there. I appreciate it. Next, coming up here, we have a chance for our board and our manager to give us a report on what's been going on in their life lately. I'll start with you, Dustin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This time of year during budget season, we're of course watching our revenues coming in as close as ever, and just a report on where we're at year to date for our local sales tax and state shared sales tax. Our local sales tax for the year, we've received 3.17 million compared to last year of 3.016. So we're about 5.2% ahead of sales tax last year. So that's our local half-cent sales tax. On the state shared sales tax for the fiscal year, we've received 5.915 million compared to last year, 5.947. So we're slightly below, about $30,000 below last year's state shared sales tax. So that's a snapshot of where we're at on those two main revenue streams. As far as projects go, we are I'm working with Bill Brandow to get our last bid out for the fire breaks to get herbicide treatment on there. As you know, about a week ago, we had a very large fire in the river between Thatcher and Pima, and our fire breaks work perfectly. They're very successful. They backburned from the Thatcher Bridge and also backburned from a fire break we call the Howard Palmer fire break, and the fire met in the middle, and it worked great. We had fire departments down there watching it, but and doing little small burns to make sure it didn't jump out of the river, but we didn't have to actively fight it, and that's exactly what those breaks were meant to do. So it was good to see them successful, and will be our biggest job going forward will be to keep them intact by treating them. In our broadband world, we continue to work with Community Broadband Advocates, who is our consultant to help with the BEAD program through Arizona Commerce Authority, and the challenge portal has been up for a little over a month, and we were able to get a challenge into the system and challenge a couple thousand areas, which means we felt like they were claiming they could be served by a certain provider. Knowing what equipment and capacity that provider had, we didn't think they could serve that area, so we put a challenge in, and what that means is a provider will have a chance to refute our challenge, so we'll wait to see where that goes. For the most part, what has been indicated as eligible for BEAD funding, which is almost $1 billion through the state to provide broadband throughout the state of Arizona. We have many areas that show they are eligible, which is a great thing. That means our local providers can go after that money. and we'll be a part of that as well as they apply for it, and we work with the state and them to see what areas they can provide that are not currently served up to the certain bar that the Commerce Authority set. So we continue to work diligently on those broadband projects. As you know, last week we were very busy with our budgets. We want to thank all the departments that came in and presented. We were very happy to meet with you and had some very good conversations. And right now, what we're doing, and when I say we, I mean Julie mainly, is putting all those requests into the budget. And on our first budget hearing, which will be June 11th, we'll meet with the board, and the numbers you will see will be as if every request was granted, which, as you know, really isn't possible or feasible. But that's where we start, match them up to the revenues that we're projecting, and then we start working from there to get to a balanced budget. So that's what's coming up next. Other items out at the parks and fairgrounds. Little League came to an end about a week and a half ago or so. Very successful Little League season, which is a lot of work for our guys, but they were very happy, and we were very happy. The fields looked very good, and everything went well. We also had our high school and junior high rodeo. A lot of hands on deck working on that. I want to thank Supervisor Mack. He had a large part in that and helping that rodeo go off without a hitch. And it was very successful, and we look forward to bringing in more rodeos, which I know Trey is working on doing. Out at the highway yard, obviously it is chip seal season, like we just talked about. We were able to double chip seal Watson and Foot, so we have 2 brand new roads that are now in the system. And we should finish up this week. The only road we had left was Golf Course Road, so they should finish that, and we'll be done with our spring chip seal. We sought out some quotes for herbicide treatment on Stockton Wash. Our goal is to hit that at least 2 and probably 3 times a year. That bid was awarded to Rattlesnake, so we'll be working with them to keep that that wash treated. A couple of things in engineering on the Gila River Linear Park and Trail. Working with ADOT, they have awarded the design to Jacobs Engineering, and Michael and I are working on a scoping meeting for this week or next to have our initial meeting with them. On the Norton Road, we finished that initial irrigation project, and we're very close to getting out the final plans for the big project, improving that intersection. The other state project that we received funds for was Tally Wash. We have a request for qualifications out for geotech and other engineering services to help us with that design and choosing what kind of bridge and foundations that we want for that project. And that's my report for now on that, Mr. Chairman. Part of our work session today, what we'd like to do is, since this meeting is going to run short and we'll have some time, is to go visit some of those projects that were requested through the budget and go on a little mini field trip if we have some time, and go visit some of those and put some eyes on those requests, if that's what the board would be okay with that. And that's for my report for now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, Dustin. Next, Vice Chairman Mack.
I've had the opportunity to sit in on the budget meetings for a couple days, and just want to thank everybody for the amount of work that they put into those, and definitely see the passion that everybody has for their departments, and just want to thank you guys for your hard work that you do for the county. Spent some time with George out on Watson Lane, and want to really thank the highway department for their hard work. They got a lot of good guys out there that do a good job. That's really all I have to share today.
Thank you. Supervisor David.
Thank you. I'll be brief. Just a number of meetings. I won't even give you the date and time, but 2 weeks ago, was able to attend a Graham County Substance Abuse Coalition meeting along with our chairman, one in person, one telephonically. We were planning the law enforcement lunch, which happened this last week, and talked about donations and efforts. That was very successful. Worked later that day on a community resource guide meeting, which is basically we had what they call a 211 system, which was supposed to be a online clearinghouse for everything from mental health. If you have a concern about any services or need information about the Gila Valley, you contacted 211. That has, I would characterize its success as poor, and so we've pivoted. The Graham County Health Department is leading in putting together a community resource guide, and instead of one person being in charge of taking, updating all and trying to get people to update their sites, they're going to delegate it to the different things like mental health, transportation, other services, and so so whoever's in charge of each group would then be responsible. We hope that will be a much more effective way for citizens, especially those who are newer to the area, to get services and information. Later that day, met with Taylor Rogers and a county manager and other supervisors regarding some of the needs and directions for the county. Also chaired a Desert Cat board meeting and attended a Gila Valley Veterans Services meeting, planning on, we had a veterans, the honor guard dinner, and we're planning that. Later that week, local committee to end homelessness meeting. They're reorganizing with a new sponsor, Catholic Community Services out of Tucson. The work continues on, and funds are continuing to flow. There was I went to the Graham County Senior Citizen Center Advisory Board meeting and working on the sign, getting letters to finish up their sign so it can be installed. Met with the governor's office on a phone call with our county manager, and then went to a work session with the city of Safford on the Gila Valley or Gila River Linear Park. Went to an airport dedication. That was great. And the next week, we had a couple days of budget hearings and snuck in a Coalition of Arizona and New Mexico Coalitions board meeting. They have some concerns about the BLMs, what was they consider an overreach in their conservation landscape ruling that they've just rolled out. Went to a Safford City Council, Historical Society, Eastern Counties Organization meeting. Didn't travel to Phoenix, but took that meeting and the board of directors meeting for CSA in remotely. Later that day, another coalition meeting, and then Friday, a SEGO executive board meeting, which was hosted in Thatcher. And I've got a update for the board on the area agency on aging, and I'll share that at our work session. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I won't repeat a lot of that. A lot of the meetings Paul was at there. I also went to my regular Pima Town Council meeting. I try to attend every month and find out what's going on in the town of Pima. It's always useful. On the 15th, I had a downtown association meeting and made some decisions on some events in the town that we're going to share with the city of Safford. And then on Friday, I traveled to Tucson to the state transportation meeting, and that's always interesting to see how our funding's going, what road projects we have coming up. It's always a good meeting. And one other thing I would like to do is really tell you all how much I appreciate our elected officials and the employees of Graham County, the job we do. here is fantastic. It is, when I travel around the state to different communities and see the things that goes on in different counties, we are very blessed with how we as a county operate and mingle together. It's really refreshing to come back home and not see the controversy other people has. And another shout out I would like to give is Supervisor Clay Mack. The rodeo last weekend, he stepped up and actually pretty much took reins of it and helped solve a lot of problems on his own without being asked. So Clay, I just want to thank you very much for what you did. It's very much appreciated.
He had,
thank you.
yeah, I'll echo that, Chairman. He, not only did he had volunteered to feed the animals, provide the hay, but then he ended up feeding all 200 people.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's,
Well, yeah.
well, that's still true leadership. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Trey's guys did an excellent job.
So, thank you very much. Next, that'll be the end of my report. Next up, we have call the public. I don't see any. So, with that being said, we are adjourned. Thank you.